Deep inside the ancient village of Umuoka stood a giant tree unlike any other. Its roots spread across the ground like giant snakes, and its branches stretched so high they blocked out the sunlight. The villagers feared the tree more than anything else. Not because of wild animals, not because of ghosts, but because of an ancient curse. It was believed that anyone who carved their name into the tree would disappear within 7 days. 4 generations, no one dared to test the legend. But one young man believed it was all a lie. His name was Chike. Chike was known throughout the village for being proud, stubborn, and disrespectful. He laughed at the elders and mocked anyone who believed in old traditions. One afternoon, while talking with his friends, he pointed toward the forest and said, "A tree cannot make someone disappear. Tomorrow, I'll prove all of you wrong." The next morning, many villagers followed him into the forest. When they arrived, the giant tree stood silently before them. Ignoring everyone's warnings, Chike pulled out a knife and carved his name into the bark. Chike. The villagers gasped. An elderly woman looked at him with pity and quietly whispered, 7 days. That night, Chike was awakened by a strange scratching sound outside his window. When he looked outside, no one was there. The following day, he began hearing whispers calling his name. Sometimes he would turn around, thinking someone was behind him, only to find himself completely alone. As the days passed, the strange events became worse. He could no longer sleep. He constantly felt as though someone was watching him from the shadows. Fear slowly replaced his confidence. On the 6th day, the village priest agreed to help him. Together, they returned to the cursed tree. Chike desperately tried to scrape his name off the bark, but no matter how hard he tried, the letters remained. It was as though the tree refused to let him go. The priest lowered his head and said nothing. He already knew what was coming. Then the 7th night arrived. Chike locked himself inside his room. Just before midnight, he heard a gentle voice calling his name. Chike. The voice sounded exactly like his late mother. He froze. Again, the voice called him. Unable to resist, he slowly walked toward the door. With trembling hands, he opened it. The next morning, Chike had vanished. His room was empty. There were no footprints, no signs of a struggle. It was as if he had never been there. That evening, the villagers returned to the cursed tree. To their horror, another name had appeared beneath Chike's. Umuoka. No one had touched the tree. Yet the name was there. The crowd slowly turned toward a young man named Umuoka. His face turned pale. The tree had already chosen its next victim. And from that day forward, no one in Umuoka ever dared to challenge the legend again. Because some warnings exist for a reason. And deep inside that ancient forest,